So today I want to give you an update on the crypto market, but I also want to share with you a disaster of a mistake I made 3 months ago in crypto investing. Now I share with you that I am often right, not always right. And when I say not always right, I mean not always right. So I'm pretty good at detecting patterns. I'm pretty good at crypto investing. At least my portfolio would suggest that. But I'm still a human being, and I make some good decisions and some bad decisions. Now, I don't repeat a lot of the mistakes I made when I was new of FOMOing into things, or I call it chasing green candles. I'm patient. I do look for good opportunities. Because I've been in the space, I understand how to analyze good projects versus bad projects for the most part. And sometimes you're just trying to make a good decision, and sometimes you take risks. Often those risks work out for me, and every once in a while they don't, at least in the short term. So I'll get more into that, but why don't we cover what's going on with the market in general, right? So let me share with you my screen. Here we go. So I've got, if you're wondering why I'm the different backdrop and everything, I'm at the home, in my home setup that I put together. Why? Because the office, the high-speed internet is still not there. Now, I was really excited when we were making the move here because a lot of the businesses have fiber internet, which is fantastic, unless or until you realize that the office that you leased didn't have fiber internet already set up. They had DSL, and they'd had 10 megabytes for their speed. So it's crazy slow, and it's going to take fiber like 2.5 months to get installed apparently. So I will be recording more from home just so I can have somewhat decent speeds here. And it's not like I have amazing speeds here, I just have decent speeds. All right, so let's get into what's going on. Now, we have this big uptick. So many thought in crypto that this was going to be, and this is Bitcoin versus USD essentially. This is the Brave New Liquid Coin Index, because I'm going to go back to 2013 and share with you some historical perspective. So many thought this would be a head and shoulders pattern, and I thought that it might. And if it had broken down out of this, could have come lower than here, all the way to here, and then even possibly to here. Did not. It chose to break up from there, and so it not only did not confirm the head and shoulders pattern, it broke out away from that, which is fantastic news. Now, if we look back, I know many people have said that we're entering the long 3-year bear market, and I've been a huge opponent against that idea, saying that it could be the case, but I would weight it only at a 6% chance. And the reason is because we can look historically back at 2013, and we can find an almost not exact equivalent, but look how 2013 played out. Now, I'm going to change this a little bit so that we cannot see what happens after. But because of my picture in the screen, let me do this. So we see it start to tick up like in November and December, and it starts this longer run culminating with going from about $13 all the way to $270. So that's a 20x. Then what happens? A disastrous reversal that took it all the way down to this low in April. And then it bounced around, still went to another low in July, but then from July, look at what we're looking at. From July's low, we are off to the races. Well, what month are we in now? August. What happened in July? Well, possibly off to the races, right? So with that low being July 22nd, and then possibly off to the races. Now, you'll notice even back then, it didn't go immediately off to the races. It might do some more stuff like this, but my guess is we are in for, hold on, I'm just going to undo some of my lines I created there. Didn't realize it was going to make us go so far back. Okay. Yeah. I think we're in for a parabolic move still in this bull run, which is fantastic news, right? Ethereum is suggesting that, and I've got my patterns drawn out here. You know, I frequently talk about W's. Now, the only thing that's concerning here is that technically this is higher than this because of how low these wicks dropped, but the stability it's not clear if this one goes lower than this. If this one goes lower than this, it's not often signaling a reversal, but a continuing downtrend, having a lower low here. But if you look at it one way, this is a higher low. And then, if so, it often plays out like this. Does this W pattern, comes back down to this level here, which is equivalent to here, and then it's off to the races. And maybe that's what we're going to see. So it's been off to the races with the hard fork, or the update going through pretty smoothly. And so we'll see how this plays out. But usually it'll break down after testing this support level, and then we might be in for some more upside. Now, on to my disastrous mistake, and I'll share with you all the context. So, I like NFTs. I think some of them will do incredibly well. And a friend of mine called me like 3 months ago, and he said, hey, you got to check out Meebits. They're made by the same maker that made CryptoPunks. And if you have a CryptoPunk, you get one for free, but they're minting, was the number 20,000. I think there's 10,000 CryptoPunks, so every one of the CryptoPunk essentially could mint one for free. That would mean 10,000 new ones as well, for a total of 20,000 Meebits. And they're like a 3D version of Meebits that will work on some of the metaverses out there, and you'll be able to use them there down the road. And I was like, wow, that narrative works pretty well. What are the mint prices? Oh, they're minting right now at 2.4 ETH each, and they are selling out like crazy. So I hurried up, took a look at it, found out that you could get the chance of getting some rare ones like pigs or elephants or aliens, or the ones where you can like see through their skin. And some person had gotten like an alien one and sold it for 200 ETH. And I thought, well, okay, so each one is about 2.4 ETH. Now at the time, ETH was over $4,000. So roughly they were about $10,000 in USDT at the time each. So between him and I, we bought a bunch of them, and I minted 5 of them. And I realized neither of us were getting any of the rarer ones, like no elephants. The chances were at least one of us should have gotten an elephant or a pig or something. And it seemed like something was off to me. 10,000 each, too. Oh my gosh, they're so expensive just from the inception. But if you got like an elephant or a pig one, you could sell that. And so my plan was to buy 5, or buy until I got one of those up to 5, and then sell it. And I realized something's going on wrong here. And so I did go ahead and just buy 2 on the general market. One I paid for 1.3. and one I paid for 1.5, because if you think about it, all the people that had CryptoPunks essentially got these for free, minus whatever their mint cost was. Well, come to find out, a few days later, found out that some people had built a cheat sheet because they got a hold of the algorithm for minting, and they could identify exactly what mint numbers were going to be the rare ones. And if they had a CryptoPunk, the minting process they would start it, but it would show them the mint number, and then they were asked to proceed or not proceed. And so with the cheat sheet, they just kept cycling through that until they knew exactly which ones were going to do well, right? So those of us who were actually paying to mint were absolutely screwed. And so I was paying $10,000, and what's crazy is over the coming 2 months, they dropped down. See, ETH price halved from there. And so ETH went down from over $4,000 to $2,000. And these Meebits went down to under 1 ETH a piece. So I could have picked some up for 0.9 ETH, even some for 0.8 ETH. So I absolutely got wiped clean. I'd bought 5 of these at 2.4 ETH, and then I'd bought one at 1.3 and one at 1.5 initially, only to see the price slide into oblivion. And it really dawned on me, man, up to 10,000 of these were basically gotten for free by people with CryptoPunks, and so they hadn't paid for it. So they were just going to dump, and they did, and it brought the prices way down. Now, am I sad that I got Meebits? No. I'm just sad that I didn't get any of the rare ones, but I did not know what was going on, that some people had a huge edge there, and essentially those who were minting the regular way and paying for it totally got shafted, and to date the project hasn't made that right for us. Oh well. And those who yeah, you had the cheat sheet and stuff. They got a lot of those really cool mint ones. Well, it just is what it is, right? Truthfully, anybody could have figured out the algorithm because they published that, and so really it's not their fault for taking advantage of information that they had access to, you know. So anyway, it just is what it is. So essentially, I'd paid about $10,000 a piece to watch their price drop to under $1,800, maybe even $1,600 a piece, as the ETH price fell, and the price in ETH of these fell tremendously. But this is why I don't trade on leverage, because time can be very forgiving as long as you're buying into a solid project or somebody, reputation is everything in the NFT space and who the maker is. And so now that some of these profile pic NFTs are doing really well, Meebits are doing really well. I mean, Bored Apes was a fantastic investment. I missed that one. Now their price is going way up, and Meebits is following. And so I can share with you my screen again and share with you that their price now, the floor price, went all the way down to like 0.8 ETH, is now up to, these are the lowest prices, 3.45 ETH. So now I'm at a profit in ETH, not necessarily a profit in USD if I sold at these floor prices, but actually, thankfully, the ones I have are worth more than these floor prices. And some of them maybe as much as 7 ETH in today's market. So by being patient for 3 months, not selling the bottom and wiping my hands and like, I'm done, and, blame everyone else, I owned my loss. And I decided I was going to play it by being patient, because it's still made by the people that made CryptoPunks. None of the integrations yet with like the metaverses like Sandbox are there yet, but that will come. As well as things turn around, go through a market cycle. And now that these profile pic NFT types are doing really well, they're back in the spotlight and their price is doing well. Now, would I FOMO into these at these prices? No, I knew at the 0.8 ETH that was a good deal. I just didn't want to put more capital in it because I already had 7. That was a lot, though I was tempted. I almost did, but I had lots of other good deals accessible to me at the time too. Lots of other good deals. So I'll share with you some good deals that I think are still good deals, because only a part of the crypto space has taken off, and that's some of the play-to-earn type gaming-related stuff. Some of the NFT stuff has taken off, but not everything. And what happens is it starts one place, and then it's kind of like, what's next? Like Meebits really started taking off once Bored Apes prices and CryptoPunks prices started getting so high. People were looking for the next thing, and they're still looking for the next thing. Now, I don't chase these kind of runs. I mean, possibly there's some money to be made that you buy a Meebit at these prices and then you flip it pretty soon, and might even double or triple your money if you're lucky. But they've essentially already 3x'd, almost 4x'd from the low, and maybe they go to 10x from the low or whatever. But if the market does go parabolic, I think it will maybe later this year. Maybe it does a smaller one later this year and then another one mid or early next year. We'll see how it plays out, because when the market is fully in parabolic blow-off top mode, things can 10x, 20x, 50x, 100x. In fact, a lot of things do. So I don't know how it'll play out, but I'm looking for really good deals. And so at this buy price, it's risky, right, to buy and try to flip. So I did set some sell orders at like 7 ETH and 8 ETH and 12 ETH and 14 ETH or something. And there is a Meebits rarity tool, so you can look at it. But that's all I'm going to spend on Meebits. And just so you know, when I say I'm often right, not always right, this is what I'm talking about. Now, I ended up being right over the long term, but not near as right as I could have, because I could have bought them for 0.8 ETH a piece and paid a lot less for my ETH at the time. So, now, speaking of good deals, why don't I share with you some good deals, or they're good deals in my opinion. This isn't financial advice. You've got to assess it for yourself, whether it fits your risk tolerance or portfolio. I'll just share with you what I think about it. Now, one of the ones I'm really bullish on is Freeway Token. Now, they're close to being able to implement their thing in the US. If you think about it, think about like Celsius Plus. So Celsius is market cap is so much higher. So let's go here and go to Celsius. So let's look at where Celsius's market cap is. Now, Celsius, fantastic project. Alex the Machine Mashinsky, 2.6 billion. He's got a fantastic track record. And so he's done a fabulous thing. I made a lot of money from Celsius. Put $7,000 into it, sold $100,000 out of it, right? So I turned $7,000 into $100,000. Thank you, Alex. You are truly a machine. But yeah, the price is no longer super cheap like it once was, right? Now, their market cap is way high. Now, can it go up from here? Yeah, if the market goes parabolic, my guess is that this will do really well. But I am looking for things that might do better. So I sold all my Celsius, and part of what I rolled my money on that into is Freeway token. Now, their current market cap is 17 million. Way more attractive, in my opinion, than 2.6 billion. But let me share with you, they do only have 20% of their supply in circulation right now. They are working and are close to being able to get their platform open in the US, but it's already open in Europe and some other places. So I have $1,000 that I've put with them, and you can put money in their superchargers, and their superchargers earn higher than normal interest rates. So I have some USDT in their supercharger, US, essentially a stable coin in their supercharger, $1,000 to see what the rate, how that does over the next 3 months. Now, it's been working for a little bit, so I don't have the exactly how it's done for you yet, but I will keep it updated. Now, they also, for those outside the US, you can put Cardano in there, you can put some other superchargers, but you have to have Freeway token, and I forget exactly the percentage of your portfolio it has to make up, like 25% or something, in order for you to be able to fully participate in the superchargers. So, their return rate that they're currently doing on Cardano superchargers like 40%. Now, I've been speaking with the team for about 4 months. Why? I'm super cautious when these kind of high rates of return are discussed. Now, it's not the crazy high rates that a lot of the scams that came out 3 years ago would pay out like 1% daily or 0.8% daily, which when you amortize that, that's like 240% a month or something. And they said they had trading bots that did that and everything. Those were scams. Some people made money from those scams, and a lot of people lost money from those scams. But Freeway token, so when they were talking about 40% return on USDT and then like 40% on your Cardano and other things, they explained to me the metrics, the things that they use to help make that work. Now, I wish I could say I fully understood what they said. I didn't. So what I look at is, well, what kind of background and other, proofs do I have that they're who they say they are? So I spoke with the team on multiple occasions. They've done everything they said they were going to do and have been very communicative. I like that. They're already approved and going in Europe and other things, and they're from the UK and regulated through the UK. So all these are positive signs. And the fact that they're working through the US to get this approved shows that everything is running above board. Also, one of the people I like in the crypto space that has a YouTube channel, because he's an investor mindset person with a YouTube channel, and that's Coach K. And Coach K frequently talks about this one, so to me that added more credibility to them. But I'm highly interested in this project. In fact, this is where I'm looking at putting not all of my stablecoin holdings, but as I'm taking profits, putting some of them in it. I'm also highly interested in their Cardano supercharger and some of their other superchargers. So I'll be covering them more in depth. I wanted to bring them up today because I feel like the price is so attractive. Now, they were just 2.4 cents here, and they're all the way down to under a penny. And yeah, they did get really cheap here. And at this price, I think I caught it at 0.6 cents. Had to pick up a whole bunch more. And since then, I've interacted with the team, and they, shared with me some more information that put it in. I'm really careful about what I bring to you guys, and I can't guarantee that none of these things will get rug pulled or anything, but I'm careful about what I put my money into as well. But I'm also careful about what I bring to talk about on the channel. And so I like what I've seen from Freeway Token, and feel like at their price, great deal under a penny. In fact, I bought a bunch of this at 1.2 cents. And so right now, even the price is a lot lower than a bunch of what I bought. Another one that I'm bullish on, and I wish I could say I knew the team on this, I don't, but they are in the Cardano space, and their data storage using Cardano's blockchain, and I just like where their price is. It came out, and it came out in this bearish market, and so they initially did pretty well and retraced. Now, I'd have to see if I could find, and I'm sure I could, the exact what pre-sale prices were on this. I've heard that this price is below pre-sale price, which means you're getting it cheaper than all the VCs did, and I love that. Now, is Iagon going to do incredibly well? I don't know that it will, but I imagine because it's in the Cardano ecosphere, and I think the Cardano ecosphere is going to absolutely take off soon. I like the narrative that it's in, so we'll see how it does. I mean, I picked up a bunch of Iagon, and I will be holding it. So another one I'm bullish on is Terra. Now, this is one that I missed out on, and it went up tremendously. And I first really became aware of Terra about here, and then I was not going to chase these green candles, and thankfully the market brought it back. And I'm not suggesting anyone chase these green candles. In fact, if we were to chart this out, I mean, just look at this chart. This is a risky point to be buying in at. Now, supposedly it's broken through that and retesting it, and maybe it's on its way up. But this ecosystem, what I'm looking for is ecosystem plays. As like the price of Cardano, I think will go up from here, and Polkadot will go up from here. I think some of the new projects in their ecosystem, if we do have a massive bull run ahead of us, that some of these projects will do much higher returns than, say, Polkadot or Cardano or Terra, right? So the Terra ecosystem. Now, I'll be talking in the coming weeks about a launch pad that's coming out on Terra that has some really cool things that they've set up. And so this launch pad will allow you access if you get tokens in this launch pad, or if it makes sense for you to get tokens in this launch pad and you like it. They won't be coming out with their actual project. I don't know what the date is. It might be 4 weeks, it might be 8 weeks, or whatever. But they will then be launching many of the projects in the Terra ecosystem. And this ecosystem is just, they've got a couple players within this ecosystem. And even though they don't have a lot of projects they're building on, the ones that are doing so incredible and groundbreaking that that's really what's impressed me about the Terra ecosystem. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that. All right, well, that's what I want to share with you today. As I shared with you in the past, I'm not always right. I'm just often right. And I try to be as transparent as possible. You know, in this channel, I can't give you financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a crypto investor myself. I'm also human. Now, I have been investing for 20 years, and that has really helped me with making less mistakes. But when I was brand new to crypto, I still made a good number of them. And even still today, I still make some mistakes. Like if I had really thought about Meebits and how many people were getting them for free, that really didn't sink in with me till a few days later of, oh crud. Now, I might have still went ahead because the chances of me getting an elephant one or something, if I could get one of those, I could sell it and then essentially sell that, and it would pay for all of the investment I made, and then I could just hold on to the others till I appreciate. Well, I possibly would have went that route, but anyway, you don't get to redo your choices that you made. What you can decide is whether you're going to dump when it's low or just be patient and hold them. In this case, being patient and holding them has worked out, at least in the ETH price. In fact, some of them would probably sell for about 7 ETH or more. And so I would be completely whole and in profit in 3 months, even though my mistake was absolutely disastrous. So overall, I do thank you for joining me. I've got Wrap version 1, Wrap version 2 that you guys have heard. I haven't connected those up yet to my laptop, so I'll have to do that, but I don't have them for today. So I've got no outro for you, but I do thank you for joining me. And if you haven't already, if you're liking this information, would you do me a huge solid and like the video? And also, if you want to hear more of an investor's perspective on the crypto market, that's what I can offer. Thanks so much, and we will see you next time.